Why would they say that? We're going to talk about bad advice people give home buyers. Hey, I'm Melanie Beran with Wyatt Properties, myhomeinhouston.com, and I'm really glad that you're here because people give home buyers some pretty terrible advice. We're going to go through in a short series here different bad advice that I hear people give. There was a whole, really, this was inspired because there was an article on BuzzFeed that they gave some of this advice, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is terrible. Why are they telling this to people? So we're going to talk about it. And if you're interested in this series of bad advice that people give to homebuyers, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get all the information that you need on your real estate journey. So let's talk about it. This is one of the biggest ones that I saw on the list, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Friends don't let friends skip inspections. And let me tell you why. When we bought this house, it was so cute, right? It's a great home. It fits our family, and it fit, I was pregnant with my third kid, and we knew, okay, we need space for the kids. We want the yard. We actually bought this house mostly because the yard is awesome, but the house is cute and it fit what we needed. And when we got our inspection back, it said fire hazard all over it. If we had skipped the inspection, we would not know that this house could burn down at any moment. You are buying the biggest asset of your life, and you are putting you and or your family inside that asset to live. What if your house that you're buying looks fine and behind the walls it's fire hazards? We got it fixed, and we negotiated that as part of our deal that they put in a new electrical box and stuff, and then it was fine. You as a buyer, you get to make the final decision. I cannot in good conscience recommend that anyone ever skip an inspection unless you're going to tear the house down and build a new one. That may be the only reason. And even then you might get a property inspection if there's a septic tank and stuff. This is a structure that you are going to put you and your family and your stuff in. How can you not know if it's going to burn down or if the roof is leaking and your ceiling's going to fall in and all? I just can't. I can't tell people to skip an inspection. So, do not skip an inspection. Now, typically here in Texas, the inspection happens during your your option period. So you'll submit a contract with your real estate agent to the listing agent. If them and the sellers, they pick your offer, all the documents get signed. Part of that offer is the option period. It says, hey, we're going to pay X amount of dollars for 5 or 7, 10 days to basically get this house inspected, try and negotiate some repairs, and if we can't make it happen, we're going to walk away. The house that I'm in, we were the second people to go under contract on it. The first people did do the option period. They got their inspection. It said fire hazard all over it, and they were like, nope, we're out, and they walked away from the deal. Because they had the option period and the inspection, they had the ability to do that, right? They had the ability to have it inspected and see what was wrong with it, and then have the option period where they and the sellers couldn't come to an agreement or whatever, and so they walked away from the deal. They had the option to walk away from the deal. If you have an inspection and stuff comes back, something will always be on it, like squeaky doorknobs go on the inspection. Something will always be on the inspection, but if it's a big deal and you're like, I can't live in this house if this is on this inspection report and not repaired by the sellers, then you have the option with your real estate agent to negotiate that with the sellers, and either they agree to it or they don't, and then you have the option to buy the house anyways or walk away. For us, fire hazard was the line in the sand. We weren't buying a house if it had fire hazards. There are some other cosmetic things that we ended up not getting fixed, but we were able to get a new roof and a new electrical box because those were going to have to be done for anybody to buy this house, basically. So I cannot in good conscience tell someone to skip their inspection. This is the biggest financial asset of your life. You don't want to spend $200,000 to find out that the home needs $15,000 of repairs, right? After you buy it because you bought it without getting an inspection. And inspections are for safety. They are to make sure that the structure is safely habitable. So you want to make sure that there's not huge plumbing leaks that are going to affect your ability to bathe. You want to make sure that there are not fire hazards hiding in the electrical outlet so that your house is going to burn down with you and your family in it, right? I can't say it enough. So that is number one, a terrible thing to tell a home buyer. Right now, this is, late 2020. No, it's not. It's late 2021. How's that for pandemic year, right? It is late 2021. Inventory is coming up. The market is not as tight for buyers as it was, but even when the market was super tight, I worked with a buyer last year from October 2020 to May 2021 was when we were able to make an offer, buy, and close on her house. Never in that time would I have recommended to her, even when the market was crazy tight, that she skip an inspection. You as the buyer get to make that ultimate decision. And an inspection is generally going to be $300 to $500 depending on who you choose and availability and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to cost, but nothing is worth putting my family in a home or nothing is too high a cost to pay to make sure that I'm not putting my family in a home that's going to burn down around them and possibly with them in it. So just it's your biggest financial asset. You need to make sure financially it's not going to tank you. It's your place to live and be, possibly work, play, all of those things. You've got to make sure that it is a safe place for you to be. So those are two reasons that I would never recommend that somebody skip an inspection. So let me know what you think about it. Go ahead, leave a comment, or if you have questions about inspections or anything else, make sure that you just let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. My name is Melanie Beran. I am with Wyatt Properties, and I hope something really great happens to you today.